Hello, hello. Welcome to another clip from the Stoner Camera Review. My name is Ken, and I wonder if anyone guess what camera this is. I just picked this up a week ago from a local private guy selling a bunch of gear. I think it's a bit of an underrated camera. It's the I don't know. Let me get a little high. I'm still using the packs. It's been going on for almost a solid year. Battery's still pretty good. I love it. Vaping is totally the way to go for me. What's really annoying is hearing people that don't have any experience and with pot, and they go out and binge on edibles and they get too fucked up. Tried that once. No. Yeah. I just do not like the way edibles metabolize your system and generates too much buzz. Like, I like to take it, one little puff at a time. And actually, to be honest with you, I'm more of a microdoser. I don't smoke a terrible ton, but some people find pot to be pretty antisocial, but I love it. It's great for me. This is a social lubricant. It's what gets me talking. So let's talk about some cameras. So this is, if you're guessing it's a Nikon, you're right. It is the, adjust my LCD here, N2000. N2000 / Nikon F301, I think, depending on where you're located. So I got this camera a week ago, but I'm not unfamiliar to the Nikon range of cameras, and I'm a big fan of this particular era of cameras, like 80s cameras. I've got the F801, F4, and N2000 is kind of special because it is one of the few Nikon bodies that has a manual focus. It'll take manual focus lenses, and it's got auto advance, so it's pretty rare. I mean, yeah, you can add a motor drive, great, but do you want to really lug around like 6 AA batteries? Nah, Who is this camera for? If you're even looking at this, watching this shit, I'd say it's for the guy who has most of the good stuff, like the digital stuff, and wants to get into something a little more analog, and you want to shoot film, not take film too seriously, treat it like a point and shoot if you want it to. It's got aperture priority mode, which is kind of cool. It's nice. It allows you to just kind of goof off and be casual and silly with it. It's not an expensive camera. I got this for $50 Canadian because I live in Canada, but I did get a little never ready case. Oh, never ready case action. And it was in good shape, so I picked it up. It is manual focus, like I said, and it has auto drive. So just to go over some of the stuff, here you got all your manual focus speeds. Just let me get a little closer here. There you go, your manual focus speeds. This is an audio, I believe. I have not read the manual, so I'm just winging this shit, to be honest. audio off, audio on, and I believe that has to do with the DX film reading. Like if you leave it on and it's you have it on manual ISO speed reading on your film dial, then it beeps. Or if you have a DX in there and set, like, I don't know, people had issues with ISOs back then. I don't know why. It's there, so I just leave it off. Set your ISOs manually. I mean, you know, like the whole DX film dial is, well, it's here, but the film DX thing, once you start using 2 or 3 film cameras, you just always set it on manual. It's nice because sometimes you forget the film you put in your camera and you're like, oh shit, like this is says 400 ISO, and you're like, you know, well, it can't be like, you know, Fuji Provia or something 100 ISO base. So it's a nice reminder. Rather in DX, sometimes you just turn it to DX, like it doesn't even tell you what ISO you're on at that point. Yeah, like if you just turn this dial here. Oh, this is a little how-to. This is your exposure compensation dial. Little exposure comp. Here we go. Pull this up. So you pull this guy up and turn it. It's on DX. It's on DX. 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 You don't know what ISO this is. You don't know what film this is. I don't even know if you can tell through this camera once you're on DX. When you turn it on, this is the on. I find the on and off to be a little tricky to switch on, but once it's kind of locked up, I do like cameras that have a lock and you can't fire away. The metering is a bit of like a down and up set of numbers. You just press it and it flashes kind of where you're at, and once if it's underexposed, it'll set itself off. But the meter is pretty cool in that it doesn't stay on terribly long. It allows you to get the reading you need, get a shot. And I was actually pleasantly surprised when I was shooting this with my Leica M3 that I was able to just kind of like meter off one film manual camera and shoot with the other. And one of the joys of really having a manual, I really highly suggest someone who dual bodies cameras and take 2 cameras out to shoot, try a manual next to a rangefinder, because you can slap a 50 on this and meter with you know, it takes just by the way, it takes 4 AAA batteries, which is kind of weird, but I still like the fact it takes batteries and they're rechargeable. I'm a big fan of cameras that just take straight up AAs. You don't have to take any weird funky batteries. But it's fuck was I saying? It's it allows you to meter from the camera and transfer your readings to a rangefinder that has no power, because that's just how that goes. I don't know, but you know, if you can shoot without much power, it's great for travel. You're set up for that. And having easy accessibility to AA, AAA batteries is great, because for some reason the Canons, they do make some pretty solid cameras, even back in the 80s, but the batteries are never AA or AAA, and to me that's kind of a bummer. That's it. This thing locks in aperture priority. See that? Locks in aperture priority, and you have like a program. It locks. It has a program, and then it has a program high, because I think that's might be like a flash thing that prefers high shutter speeds. That's it. Pretty simple camera to use. Pretty light camera. I especially like just this like tiny little bit of grip. External is all rubber. This the back is a bit of like a rubber leather, I want to say. Viewfinder is great. It's clean. You can take the this is the bottom plate. The bottom plate is here. You can just take that off and change the batteries. I do want to say it's oh, I get this. Oh, here we go. One little sneaky thing I had experience with is that when you take the battery trays out and you put them in, there's only these two dots here that line the battery up, and often I'm putting in other ways and I'm not even seeing the dot, so that could have been a little better placed, or even like make it red. I don't know, you can't tell, but this is white and my batteries got white and it's hard to tell. Make it red. I don't know. Little design advice. What does it say on the batteries? Shit. Yeah, anyways. Bottom plate, batteries, 4 AAAs, and you're good. I think it's rated to shoot 60 rolls at least. Depending on 36 or 24 exposure, but that's it. The rewind is kind of here. Little double latch rewind, but so far I'm loving it. I shot it. I'm only still on half a roll, so you know I might do a little spiel about how I feel about this down the road, but very affordable, full manual camera. To be honest, if I think I went back to like photography school and you had to pick up one manual camera to learn, you want to pick your first manual film camera to learn on, or even like get a concept of photography and have all the available options. I mean, there's bulb mode on here. This camera can do everything for like a photographer just going into, you know, picking up film to learn. You want to learn metering, you want to learn focusing, you want to learn exposures. This camera can do it all, so it's cheap. And not to mention it has all the Nikon mount stuff. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not trying to sell it, but it is a pretty cool camera. The N2000 is pretty rare around, you know, that there are very few models that do the manual focus and auto wind, and it's lightweight. It's got a motor drive capabilities pretty much, and yeah, that's it. Talk to you later.